Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Twilight Romance along Albert's route. We are reading episodes 5 and 6 today. In last episode, we very foolishly followed Ray by ourselves, but fortunately Akira was following us. And maybe Albert was following him. Who knows how long this train is. Anyway, let's just see. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Vampire? You're just making that up because you're a little special, aren't you? Special? Why do I have to put that in quotes, too? Are you special, Ray? He must have gotten the notion stuck in his head from too many movies or something.
If you really think so, care to find out?
Ray stepped closer to me. He placed his chilled hand on the back of my neck, and his face came nearer. Just because you suck my blood doesn't mean you're a vampire. Can you really prove it? Can you turn into a bat? This is the same as before. I could sense the danger I was in, but I was paralyzed out of fear. Okay, joke's over. You can stop now. I'm able to move my mouth, but all I can do with it is spout out nervous utterances. Will he really suck my blood?
For real, joke's over, fool.
At the last second, I heard Akira's voice, and Ray halted his approach. Akira, but how?
So the pooch sniffed out our trail, huh?
Because he's a better ninja than you, Dirili. Akira pushed his way in between Ray and me.
What the heck were you thinking? He's a vampire.
I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Everybody was like, don't ask, don't ask. Isn't that just his fantasy? The fear in me grew at this point, even though I faintly believed it deep down. I just didn't want to see the truth.
She wanted to see for herself whether it was true or not. Yeah, right. We're getting out of here, Dirili.
Akira grabbed my hand and we ran toward the exit.
Oh, you think I'd just let you leave? Yukari, block the exit.
Yes, sir. A woman dressed in bright red clothing stood in front of the exit. In her hand she held a dark black blade. This time, there is no escape. She pointed her sword at us.
Dang, guess I have no choice. Dirili, back up a little bit.
Akira! I could sense the change in the air. I looked over to Akira as he started to look more like a beast than a man. What's going on? More stuff that nobody told you about.
You finally show your true face.
Our arch enemy, the Wolf Clan. Akira's form changed, but the two of them actually seemed happy about it. I don't know. Yukari looked freaked out to me. They assaulted him with their weapons, and he looked like he was just barely able to keep up with them. 2-on-1, it's not fair. Come on, Albert, get out here.
Ugh.
Akira mistimed his dodge just a little, and Ray instantly noticed the mistake.
You're wide open.
But Ray's attack did not connect. Aha! About time, man.
Dirili, I'm glad to see that you are safe.
Albert! The cane Albert walks around with had a hidden blade inside of it, and it was that blade that was now pushing back Ray's sword.
Mr. Akira, may I request your assistance? I'd like to say no, but it's not like I'd be able to in this situation.
Oh, don't be so proud, buddy. Come on. Akira reluctantly turned his back to Albert, and the free-for-all began.
Gah! Man, you got some moves.
I'm so happy about that.
Guess I've got to use it.
At that moment, Ray's eyes began to glow red, like Miyazumi's did when he was erasing memories. Run away, everybody!
This is...
Albert froze in his tracks.
Have fun reliving your painful past memories. Gah!
Albert!
Back off, Dirili!
I tried to run to his side, but Akira stopped me.
I was unable to protect you.
Those were the only words I needed to hear to put the pieces together. He's being shown a memory of his beloved being killed. She didn't pass away, she was killed. My chest tightened. Ray, stop this now!
There's no way for me to stop it now. Right now, he's reliving his most regretted moments in life. But he's seeing it because he wants to. Everyone regrets something, and they learn from it.
My mind flashed back to that painting. If he wasn't that attached to her, he wouldn't have a painting like that.
I'll bet he's repeatedly seeing the death of some stupid human woman he turned into a vampire.
How cruel! There was one truth to be gained from that statement. Everyone living in that mansion, they're all vampires. I felt like a hammer smacked me in the head. My head was throbbing and aching, but I still wanted to help Albert. Even if he's a vampire, I still want to help him.
Hey, wait, Dirili!
I ignored Akira this time and ran toward Albert. Choose your action. You don't have to be sad. I'm here for you. And you have to take care of Leo. You don't have to be sad anymore. Albert's dazed expression melted into a warm smile. Albert collapsed to his knees. It must have been a huge strain on him mentally.
Oh, you've recovered. Dirili must be quite dear to you, although I can see the resemblance.
What do you know? My heart raced.
After Leo and I lost our parents, she and Albert raised us.
Oh, so it was her that raised them.
However, she was also struck down by the hunters.
He spit out his cold words, and I felt terrible now knowing the truth behind it all.
Have you forgotten her warm kindness?
Albert strained to speak as he rose from his knees.
I never understood her, Albert. How dare you say that about the woman who sacrificed herself for you?
Ah, Albert looks sexy when he's mad.
Like I said, I never understood her or her actions.
Ray seemed almost like it was painful to say it. Just then, the heavy mood was quickly broken by a gunshot. That would be, yep, Mayazumi. I turned around to see Mayazumi's group, pointing their guns at Ray.
Don't move.
Well, if they don't move just because we told them, we wouldn't need to be hunters now, would we?
I still want an Akahoshi route. Akahoshi seemed somewhat unenthusiastic, but he pulled his gun up and fired a shot at Ray. His heart is totally not into this as he's following Ray. However, it missed by a large margin, and in the confusion, Ray and Yukari quickly fled.
Just where were you aiming?
Somewhere that wouldn't hit his boss.
Sorry, man. Looks like I missed.
You really need to work on your shot.
After things settled down, the only thing remaining was the bad aftertaste left in my mouth. You've all been lying to me!
Dirili, are you okay? Well, of course you're not, but...
Akira raised his hand to put on my shoulder, but seeing me stand there listless, he lowered it back down. Hey, this whole thing about Ray, about everyone being vampires, it's all a big joke, right? I felt the heavy weight in my stomach as I posed my question to Albert. I just wanted him to say it was all fake. However, Albert stood there in grave silence. And I will say... Is it true? Say it isn't so. Is it true?
It is exactly as he said. Masters Ray and Leo are indeed vampires. I also cannot be excluded from that list.
Then there's red glowing eyes. There are vampires? I thought back to Ray's glowing red eyes. The one who killed my parents is most likely one of them. You don't know how many vampires are out there. It might not be one of them. Then a vampire killed my parents, right? I'll bet you all knew once you heard about my past.
I truly regret not being able to protect you from the harsh truth.
Albert wore an expression of frustration and sadness, one so pathetic that it made me feel like the bad guy.
Oh, are you quite finished? We can't stand around here forever. Let's move. Where to? Is there even somewhere safe left?
Appleby Manor is a safe haven. It has many anti-vampire countermeasures built in.
Yeah, but it's also got Ray. Their conversation moved on as I stood there with my mouth sewn shut. They were all talking together, but I couldn't hear any of their words. To be continued. In Chapter 6 now. The foyer in the mansion was always a little dim, but the darkness of it all now gave me a more frightening feeling than anything else. We relocated from the abandoned factory to the mansion where the protective forces are, and they all started to group up to discuss what to do next. Am I still listless? I never imagined I'd be living with my parents' killer. You don't know that. It could be any vampire. I was in no state to be thinking about the future.
Dirili, are you okay?
No. On the way back, I didn't talk to anyone, not even Akira.
I'm sorry.
Akira walked away from me after realizing he wouldn't be able to do anything for me. I don't want anyone to come near me. I can't trust anyone. I thought that even though the back of my mind was littered with thoughts about Albert, I wish I could, at the very least, have had trust in him. If he really loved a human woman, my parents were humans too. Suddenly, I remembered those glowing red eyes, and I shut my eyes as tight as I could.
Everyone here? Okay, let's start sorting out our plan, including a recap of the current events.
Shion looked around at everyone gathered in the foyer. There were 6 of us: Albert, Akira, Leo, Mayazumi, Akahoshi, and me.
Hold on, will ya? Dirili's still not...
We don't have any time for that. While we're sitting here, Ray is making his next move.
My opinion doesn't mean anything. They'll just carry on without me. I didn't notice it, but Albert was watching me as I bit my lower lip in silent frustration.
First off, Leo, Ray, and Albert are all vampires.
And we are hunters that track down vampires.
So why are the hunters and the hunted teaming up?
I was surprised as Akira fiercely interjected with a suspicious look. Akira, he's still thinking about what's best for us, but what am I doing? Wallowing in self-pity? I wouldn't even attempt to calm my feelings toward him trust at this point.
Would you mind if I offered an explanation? Be my guest. It would be most fitting if you did.
Leo stepped forward, took a deep breath, and began his explanation.
I am heir to the vampire throne. It's a law we vampires have abided by for centuries.
The heir? I had a lot of trouble believing Leo's story. There's apparently a king of the vampires, and he has complete control and authority over the entire vampire race. Leo was entrusted with the succession of the throne, and he has come here to become the next king. By drinking my blood.
I believe that we need to end the fighting with the humans. I can order that as the king. I could use my authority to order all vampires to retreat into seclusion.
But why me? A vampire drinking your blood surely meant an end with you dying. I wished for something to free me from my boring lifestyle, but now I just wish I had it back. What a farce.
We required a superior blood sample.
I don't care what your reasoning is. This isn't something you can just decide to do. Yeah, it kinda is. You may not like it, but they can do it. Before I knew it, I was shouting as loud as I could. The ocean of doubt and fear finally burst through. My wild shouting fit brought the floor to a silence. Everyone just stared at me in surprise. The long empty silence was broken by Albert's gentle voice.
Please be assured, Dirili, that Mr. Leo has no intention to take your life.
But he needs my blood, doesn't he? I'm sure I had a desperate look on my face as I looked to Albert for answers. Albert responded with his bright, gentle smile.
Would I be able to convince you to hear the entirety of my story?
If he had loved a human woman, it just might be okay to trust him for now. Choose. Please tell me. I want to know. Stuff that you should have told me a long time ago, I think. Please tell me.
Of course, you have my thanks for keeping an open mind. The previous king was none other than myself.
What? So who's king right now? Is he not king still? Is there no king at the moment?
All of this was brought about by my shortcomings. If only I had been able to unite my people.
I was taken aback by his sad expression. He no longer wore that long-sighted gaze as he stared directly at me.
I was unable to control the whole of our race, and they would not accept my peace-minded ideals. I offer my deepest apologies.
Albert went quiet.
Our king has no need to belittle himself.
Albert knelt down in front of me, and Leo rushed over to him to stand him up.
I am no longer a king. I am only taking due responsibility for my failure.
I was surprised by what happened, but it seemed that everyone else was surprised for a different reason.
Vampires are prideful things. For the king of all people to kneel down is just...
I heard the king would kneel only before the next king. Man, he really loves you humans, huh?
Truly, I can't believe my eyes.
After hearing what they were saying, I thought maybe I could trust Albert, if only him. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared, but continuing my distrust after this would be wrong. It's okay, I got it. Please, just stand up.
But I
slowly extended my hand downward, but Albert wouldn't make any effort to take it, as if out of fear. I wonder if he's afraid of touching another human. Come to think of it, he's always been by my side, but not once has he ever touched me. After briefly combing over my past interactions with Albert, he slowly stood up. I turned to face Shion. Shion, I will decide whether or not to cooperate with your cause after hearing Albert's story.
You have no right to refuse us. You are the only offering currently alive.
I still wish to make my own decision.
Do as you please.
Are you ready, Albert? Let's go talk in your room. Back to his room again. Alone together?
But...
Can you not control yourself? Pretty please. I want to talk with you. Alone. I want to talk with you, and only you.
If you truly wish to speak with me, then so be it.
Then it's settled. Please wait for us.
Not like we have anywhere to go. Are you really sure you want to be alone with a vampire?
I have been before, a couple times.
It's just Albert, so there's nothing to worry about. Akira didn't quite trust me, so he rolled his eyes and stepped forward.
I'm going too.
I have no intention of sucking human blood. Besides, I can see just how important Dirili is to you.
What? I just... So what of it?
Akira was thrown off by Albert's meek demeanor.
Nothing of it. It is splendid.
I still don't trust you, buddy.
Oh, that face he made. Sorry, you missed it, but it was a cute face. I couldn't tell if he was angry or hiding his embarrassment, but Akira stormed out of the foyer.
Well then, shall we? I don't want Akira to be waiting on us.
Are we actually letting him come? Sure. Like I'd let them just decide my fate for me. I'll be the one to decide what happens to me. I solidified my resolve, and Albert and I left the foyer. To be continued in the next episode. 'Cause those were our 2 for the day. Join us when we try to decide our own fate and try to tell vampires not to eat us. See how that goes over exactly. Alright, hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.